Hey guys, it's 20x Diamonds, and today I'm going to bring you a video not of Dota, but for Dota. Today we'll be going over the Phantom Assassin. In the end, I'm going to try and go over almost every single hero except for things like IO, and I thought it would be best to start with one of my best heroes, which is indeed Phantom Assassin. Now, what I'll be going over is items you should use, different situations you should use them, builds, and different tips for when to use different things. So we're going to start simple with items. The two starting items I believe are the best are, of course, Boost of Speed and Healing Salve. Now, most people go for branches and stuff like that, but the reason I don't is Boost of Speed allow you to really catch up to heroes and kill them early on, which is very effective, and branches in the end you just sell for like a little bit of money. Boost of Speed you can turn into other objects, which in the end is much more helpful. So that's good, and Healing Salve heals you a good amount. You just gotta hide, not get hurt quickly, so in the end it's good. Early game, you're going to really want to go for these three major things because they're going to help you late game and be able to put into much stronger things. First of all, the first object you're going to want to create in the game is Phase Boots. Now, Phase Boots is great because 16% movement speed allows you to catch up for 4 seconds and escape pretty effectively. And they give you plus 55 movement speed, that's another 5 from before, and plus 24 damage. So this is a really good combo all around. And they're still available. They're still really good late game. The next item you're gonna want to get is Helm of the Dominator. Helm of the Dominator gives you lifesteal and a bit of armor and a bit of damage, which is good and can really help you early game, especially since lifesteal gets really good with Coup de Grace. There's you get a ton of heal from that. Then Skull Basher. One of the reasons why Skull Basher is just so great is the mini stun. So people are trying to run away, you just keep hitting them and hitting them and hitting them. They can't escape. They're stuck, especially when you use your move Phantom Strike. So that's a must-have. Now my normal build, which is the one I usually run off of, and been quite successful with in many games, is a simple build of Phase Boot, Satanic, Abyssal Blade, Vanguard, Battle Fury, and Butterfly. Now, this thing, one thing I forgot to say is this is for pretty advanced players. There are a lot of expensive items here, and they're for people who know how to kill and get the job done. So just keep that in mind while I go on this. Now, the first thing you're going to want to build out of all these, you might think Vanguard because it's cheap, and you're dead right. So the first thing you want to build is Vanguard. The block of health is good. The amount of health you get in the HP regen can be really helpful, especially since you're pretty low regen at this time. You're surviving off of lifesteal. So the plus 6 health regen and the 250 health is good, plus damage being taken away from you. Now, the next thing you're gonna want to get is definitely Abyssal Blade because of the 1.4 stun, 100 damage, 10 strength. That's really good. And when you activate it, you can cut through magic immunity and stun them for instead of 1.4, 2 seconds. That's really good in team battles or when someone's trying to get away. So even if they have Black King Bar or whatever, you can still stun them because it'll cut straight through that thing, which is just evil. And the mini stuns and everything, just like Skull Bash. The object I usually go for next is kind of a mix between Butterfly or Satanic, depending on the situation you're in. Satanic's more if you need the health and you're going against these big guys, but Butterflies, well, okay, Satanic's for people when you're going against strength heroes. So if you're going against a Spirit Breaker, Centaur Warrior, or Husker, I'm really going to suggest Satanic because you can just quickly press whatever button it is and activate it for 3.5 seconds. You have 175% lifesteal. So if you coup in this time because you use Phantom Strike, then you're pretty much fully healed, and that can really turn the tide of a battle pretty easily. And the 25% normal lifesteal, that's really good, especially when you're hitting eventually for coup, anywhere between 1,200 and 1,800 is where I'm usually hitting late game. So that's a solid amount of health you're getting, even for basic attacks or basic coup. So that's really good. The reason you go for Butterfly is for heroes kind of like Sniper and Drow and everything. That evasion allows you to get in there. Since what I do believe the evasion does stack, but it's just kind of like a magic immunity where it may say it gives you 25, but it's less. So you eventually, thanks to Blur, you'll be up to 40% evasion, and then this 35% evasion won't actually bring you up to 75. It's going to bring you up to about 50, anywhere between 50 and 60. I don't know the exact calculations. And then the 30 damage is really good, and then 30 agility. But the good thing is, since you're an agility hero, the 30 agility actually makes it so you get the 30 agility, and that since you're agility hero, you get the damage too. So that brings you up to 60 damage from this one item. And then because of armor, you get one piece of armor for every every 7 agility. You get 4 armor, which is great, and plus 30 attack speed. Allowing you to get more coup de grâces in there, which is that's really, really good. And the reason you get Battle Fury is the mana regen, so you can be whipping out a lot more Stifling Daggers and Phantom Strikes, and the HP regen, and then the damage, and again the cleave. Thanks to your coup de grâce, with the cleave, you're able to get several heroes out of the time. There have been times where I'm a bit fed, and I'll be fighting like 3 heroes at a time, and then I'll go for my Phantom Strike, and then I'll coup while I do it, and I'll literally, because of this, I'll hit for like 1,800 damage, take out 3 enemies at the same time, because the other guys are getting like a good amount of damage out, which is really, really good. Now that's my normal build. I'll mix it up in between games, maybe put a Daedalus, because Daedalus allows me for more crit strikes to get in there, even though I'm a little bit weaker, to Visual Blade if I'm facing some heavy mana users. The next build, though, is my attack build. This is when you're really going for the offensive attack. And I do have to change this up a bit because I do have Desolator and Visual Blade, which don't stack with each other. So I'm going to have to edit this one a bit. So bear with me. You have to choose, and I might have a little bit of edits in here. So this is naturally with Phase Boots. All these have Phase Boots, just to inform you. Phase Boots is really good, and then we do see another Abyssal Blade, and then we see Sanguinasha. The reason Sanguinasha is just it increases strength and agility by 16, both, which is really good. That's already 2 armor you get, plus 16 attack speed, and then the movement speed. That's just great, especially with your Phase Boots, 12% movement speed, and then the Maim Chant, which slows for 30%. That's just beautiful right there. Next, I'm going to Daedalus, and then Desolator, the armor taken away, especially with your coup. You get a lot of hits in there. A lot of health just really quickly gets drained out of your enemy, and they're usually not too excited to have that. And Visual Blade is, thanks to the Phantom Strike, the really quick attacks, you just tear away their mana, which is usually great. Now give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I had to attend to something. Now, the Desolator, the armor, and I already went to the Visual Blade. Now, the defensive build. This is when you've really been you're being pushed back by the enemy, and they're just hammering you and hammering you and hammering you. And it's usually when someone's left your game, and you guys kind of survive. It's more about surviving and killing. When you're in this position, this is where you go for. Now, remember, bear in mind, this is just for survival right here. It's kind of a rare thing to use. But this is a build. Phase Boots, Harv Tarrasque, so you can get a ton of health. Vanguard for survival. Lincoln Sphere, Shival's Guard, and Salt Curse. Now, the reason the Salt Curse, the movement speed, the armor, and you take away enemy armor, allowing for easier kills, that's great. And Salt Curse is also a really good stack with Desolator, so I'll make a new class for that later. Then Shival's Guard slows enemy in your area, and then you also have the Explosion of 200 damage, which slows them even further. And that's beautiful. Plus the intelligence for mana regen. You don't really need it. But the armor's great. Lincoln Sphere pretty much blocks like a magic move that's coming at you, so like Laguna Blade or anything could just be blocked. You get plus 15 all attributes, that's beautiful. 10 damage, that's okay. Then the mana and HP regen of 6 HP, 150% mana. That's just beautiful. Vanguard we've already been over. Phase Boots. So now we've been over the basic ones. My normal one is usually is the build I call normal build. You can go over this stuff in my public Phantom Assassin build called the Phantom Nightmare. Check it out, it's pretty good. By Yimbler. Now the ability build. Your hero's usually a bit weak to about level 4. Just warning you about this because this build, once you reach level 4, it really starts to pick up. So you're looking at a Phantom Strike as your first move, so you can get the teleport in early game. Second move, Stifling Dagger. It only hits for 50 at this point with 1 second slow duration, but still hitting them and being able to slow them briefly. Really good. Then Blur. Blur, the evasion of 20% chance, that's beautiful. Then, at level 4, you go for Stifling Dagger again, bring it up to 100. Which is just great, because now it's a slow duration of 2, and Stifling Dagger really starts to show its power. Then at level 5, you have Stifling Dagger again, 150 damage, 3-second duration. People are slowing down longer, taking more damage. You get more phantom, you get more strikes in, which is great. Level 6, actually Coup de Grace, because Coup de Grace, it's just beautiful. What you want to do is you want to use, when you go into battle, you want to use Stifling Dagger first, then go for, then once it's hit, you use Phantom Strike, because they can't escape you, and then if you also like something like Skull Basher or whatever, then they're getting stunned. If they're stunned, slowed, it's a nightmare for them. They try and hit you, you're blurring out of the way. Level 7, you finish off your Stifling Dagger at level 4, which is great. And at level 8, you go for Blur, 9 Blur, and 10 Blur. This increases it to from 20, 25, 30, and 40%. And usually some people might go for Phantom Strike, but I go for Blur because being able to evade completely damage is just beautiful. Because it can even evade ulties. I've evaded things. I evaded like Snipe and stuff like that because of it. And it's just a massive troll to people, even Dagon. Then Phantom Strike for the next, then level 11 you go for Coop, bring your Coop up to crit damage of 35%. One problem with Coop, don't forget, is the 15%, but works on the end. Then you use Phantom Strike for level 12, 13, and 14. Level 15 you do stat boost, level 16 you Coop again. Then from 17 to 25 you're doing stat boosts. And that's pretty much the basic build that I use with normal, and it really works. It's a good thing, especially if you have a teammate you're talking to or anybody. It's good. Now, one thing people have to remember is when you're going into battle, the most important thing is, as I said, Stifling Dagger, Phantom Strike, together, and literally, if you're in the middle of battle, you keep using your Stifling Daggers, and they can't run away if they try to, and it does a solid amount of damage, except for late game, but early game is still good, and you should still use it late game, and Phantom Strikes as much as possible just for those quick hits. And Coup de Grace. Important tidbit I want to add in before I go is at level 16, you were definitely, with this build, going to be able to kill Roshan. So it's a bit late, guys. Like Ursa can kill at 6, but 16 still do it. Some heroes can't even do it then, even if they're fed. So just remember that because of your Coup de Grace and your life steals and everything, it lets you do it. And you can Skull Bash Roshan, which is great. And you can use Phantom Strike on him, going for the floor. So you're Skull Bashing him for stuns, Coup de Gracing him for a ton of damage, and then healing yourself because of that too, which is great. And then you have a chance of evasion. So I hope you guys found this video interesting. Please hit the like button, the favorite button, and comment, and ask for what heroes you really want next. I'm thinking next is going to be Sniper, going over by Batman, because he's just amazing with it, even though he does mess around. But yeah, I think that's next time. So as I said, please like, subscribe, comment, favorite, and everything, and I'll see you next time.